we just got back. We were in Las Vegas, just wrapping up the season out there. And it was so nice to be back in Vegas. And for the first time in a couple of years, we started to have fans in the stands.
That's great.
And it's nice to feel a little bit like the way things were. So I'm still riding on cloud nine from that.
So this season, the age limit to compete has been lowered to 15 years old. So now my kids are going to start watching it thinking that they're close. They're getting close. They're getting close to being in the big one as opposed to the junior competition that they imagine they could maybe get in one day. You know?
And that's it. So now, age, it was 9 to 14 on American Ninja Warrior Junior.
Right.
Because they were so good on that show, we thought we're going to let a couple of them take a shot on our big course this season. And Rich, they've blown us away. I mean, we knew they had some athletic ability. We've seen them in their videos. We've seen them tackling obstacles. But what we didn't know is how they would handle being on the big stage with the lights at their brightest, with $1 million on the line. Would they rise or would they just crumble? And thinking back to when I was a high school sophomore, Akbar and I were talking about this. If you'd had a chance to play in the league at that point, to go to the NBA or NFL,
right?
There was no way you were ready physically, but certainly emotionally. And these athletes have been outstanding. They have been so strong. And they're out there. We're like, okay, first of all, it's past your bedtime. Second of all, you should be doing algebra homework. And third, you are absolutely crushing this. So it's been exciting to see the young bloods coming on there and to feel like, it's really a reinfusion now, this new energy coming into the show. But my God, do I feel old, Rich?
Do you got a new obstacle, new part of a course?
So,
what do you got for me?
We always have a slew of new obstacles, but one of the things we did this year was it's called split decision. So there's an obstacle where in the course the ninjas get there and they have a choice. It could be a choice between two different types of balance obstacles, maybe an upper body obstacle or a balance obstacle, but it becomes choose your own adventure. And what's interesting is ninjas may have different skill sets. If you're a little bigger guy, you may think, I'm not going to do upper body, I'll try balance. So we're seeing the ninjas now really take their fate into their own hands, because before it's always been, hey, just face whatever's out there and keep going. But now you have to have a little bit of strategy here, choosing which obstacle you'll think you'll be successful in. And as soon as people hit the water on that one, you see them going, I chose poorly. Instant regret.
Now, help me out with this. Matt Iseman here on the Rich Eisen Show. American Ninja Warrior returns for season 13 coming up in 6 days. So Memorial Day night, make sure you make a note on NBC at 8 Eastern time. I don't want to stir any problems up in your workplace, Matt. This is my wind up. This is my wind up.
What a setup.
This is my wind up. This is my wind up. But do the producers who come up with these obstacles, do they have a problem? Do they literally like seeing people squirm? What is going on here? Because how do they come up with some of this stuff, man?
Well, what's insane is we come up with these obstacles, and very often they'll send us videos in testing of the obstacles as they're kind of going through iterations. And every time I look at an obstacle, I think, how is anyone going to ever get through this? And what's amazing is watching these athletes, because, again, for those who aren't familiar with the show, they don't know what they're going to face until they show up on our course. They don't get to practice. You get one shot on these obstacles. So not only do they have no idea what they're facing or how to do it, they don't even know what it feels like or how much strength it's going to require. So to see the problem-solving ability, because we keep upping the difficulty and we think no one's getting through this course. And then one person gets through it, and it's like the when they figure out how to use a stick to get the ants out of the hole, like all of a sudden everyone starts emulating it, success begets success. And all of a sudden we think, all right, we got to come up with a harder course because these guys are figuring it out.
I know. And then it's kind of like the NFL where before they make a rule change, they try to figure out what the unintended consequence is going to be.
That's it.
And
it is an arms race, and we are losing. They're constantly beating us.
It's funny too because again, watching it with my kids, they get invested when we meet one of the ninjas up close and personal, to use the old sports TV phrase, right? And we learn about their journey, and then their parents are there watching, and then they're cheering on, and then you're rooting for this person, and they literally eat it within the first 10 seconds. And I feel like I feel like maybe we're being done dirty, like
my mom will call me after an episode and go, "Why did you make me care about that person? You knew he was going to fall." Like, I'm sorry, Mom. That's kind of how it works here.
My kids are like that too. They're like, "What the hell was that?" Like they kind of want to.
It is. It's funny. It's always tough because we get to know these athletes. This is season 13. I've seen these people. Some of them, get married, have kids, and watch these families grow. You know how much it means to them. And when they fall, you're heartbroken. But you also know that's why it matters so much. That's why it means so much when they do hit a buzzer, when they do well, because they've fallen, because they've come up short before. And it's the stakes. It's that idea if you get one chance at this, and especially heading into the Olympic year when, we talk about if you're an NFL player, man, you don't win a Super Bowl. Okay, but you probably have like a 7-8 figure salary to go home to. For these ninjas, this is it. This is something they train for with such passion. They dedicate so much of their lives to it. And so when they come up short, you know how much it stings. But when they do well, you see the joy, and it's awesome where you realize this is a moment. This is a moment they'll remember for the rest of their lives. When they're old and gray, they'll think back. I remember when I did that and how good it felt. And it's awesome to get to see people have those moments, those life-changing moments.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.